oh man. What's up, everyone? It's your boy Infrared. Welcome to the Scott Report. We're only 2 days into the spring season, and I potentially already have a series that I'm dropping. If you haven't noticed by the title already, that is Terra Formars Revenge. Season 2 of Terra Formars, Episode 1. Here's my review. And I don't even know where to start with this. First and foremost, I have the first 3 volumes of this series, and the first season covered a majority of that material. Terra Formars Revenge covers none of what's going on right now, or at least it doesn't seem like it to me. I read a little bit past where I am in the manga. I haven't read too much into it, but Terra Formars Revenge, it just seems like, and help me out with this, manga readers, is this series original? Because I know I mispronounced some names in some of my reviews, but I do pretty good research, and they were being very coy about what this series is, and they said it's a continuation, but I can't figure out if it's anime or original, or is it pulling from the manga? Like, is it like Tokyo Ghoul Route A, where some of it did exist, but a majority of it, or a big part of some of the storyline, was like filler or anime original content? Because this feels like original content, and not only that, it's a complete shift of what we had in season 1 of Terra Formars. See, the first Terra Formars, it's a seinen, and this first season got a lot of flack because of the censorship. I mean, they just straight up had like black bars over people's heads and bodies where they got beheaded and whatnot. Later on in the series, it got a little bit better. They started doing a little bit less censoring, and eventually they released the uncensored versions, and it had 2 OVAs that covered the mission before the current team got to Mars. And the OVAs, they were, even though it was rushed, they were very gritty. Terra Formars Revenge has been turned to a shonen. I am serious. Bright colors, opie, fan service, jokes, cutesy characters, cookie cutter feeling plot, even more so than it was already. I mean, even though the first season was censored and, you know, it kind of got watered down, you still had that sense of despair and hopelessness against these creatures, these cockroaches. And season 2, it just seems like they toned it down, like they want to show it on like Cartoon Network, not even Toonami or something. I mean, I'm serious. Let's get to the episode. I mean, I can cover this pretty quickly because a majority of the episode, a huge bit of the episode, was Akarai and his backstory. Pretty much, this series, it starts off where the season starts off where we left off before. We have Akarai and Michelle. They're back to back, and they're faced down by all of the Terra Formars, and it picks up right from that mission left off. And Michelle has the medicine that they inject in themselves to turn themselves into Terra Formars, or the bug transformation that they turn themselves into. She throws one of the Akarai. He puts it into his neck and goes into a he goes into a straight up Super Saiyan transformation into his bug. And that's never happened before. I mean, complete with the aura around him and everything. And it's some banter going on between him and Michelle where he says, you know, if we get out of this, I want to see that shot of you in the shower. Like, what? What? You guys are fighting for your lives right now. Why do we have jokes in this series? And just like I said, besides this part right here and showing Akarai, he's in a bad spot right now because the Terra Formars are pretty much wrecking him. He goes back and he does the cliche montage where he thinks about why he's there, and we have a little bit of backstory from Michelle as well. As you know, in addition to the cockroaches pretty much morphing to what they are on the planet, back on Earth, there's also a disease that's going around because what was brought back from Mars. And Akarai lost a very good friend of his. She died because of that virus. And now there's like a kid who kind of gives him that same type of vibes, and he's suffering from the same illness as well. So he goes through his montage in his head is just thinking about how he doesn't want to disappoint his kid and how he doesn't want to lose anybody else because of this virus. So he's just going to fight his way until he can get out and get the samples for everyone. And he just goes into another power-up complete with a gold transformation. And then all of a sudden he can just fight and beat these guys. It's like he went Super Saiyan 1. When does this ever happen in Terra Formars? I mean, I know they transform, but come on. Also, the animation is straight up like toy. I mean, we're looking at damn near DB Super animation on this. I mean, it just looks horrible. And again, I'm kind of confused as if this is going to be all animated material or not, because they anime original material, because they do reference that they've lost a lot of people, namely the team that Adolf was on. They noticed that something happened with Adolf, and after the team clears the way for the Terra Formars, they send out an SOS signal. They're waiting for either some more people to help them or for a ship for them to escape. And that was the episode in a nutshell, besides Michelle going in. And once everybody gets back and the battle's over, they're like, let's rest for now, let's eat. And the girls are like, okay, well, we're just going to go in the shower. And then the guys are sitting there thinking about what they're going to look like in the shower, complete with the pink background and the sexy saxophone music. And they're thinking about how they look in the shower. It's a monstrosity. It's horrible. And like I said, I wouldn't be upset. Like, say if this is how Terra Formars was to begin with, I would have dealt with it. I probably wouldn't have watched it. But for it to be such a dark and series where you're supposed to wonder if these guys are going to escape or even if everybody's going to make it out alive, to straight up turn it on its head and make it like a shonen shoujo comedy, paint me disappointed. This is the second time in a week I've been disappointed about something that I thought was going to be good. First was Batman vs. Superman, which I really did think was going to be a lot better than it was. Now you take a series I absolutely love about the tone that it had and everything, and turn it to a cookie cutter shonen that even shonen fans will probably be embarrassed to watch. That's how I feel about it right now. I mean, Terra Formars Season 2, I know I said it was going to be on my review list, especially with me getting reviews out on Saturdays, because Saturdays is going to be kind of naked, at least till Kids Navier starts. But I don't think I can review this because I don't want every episode to be me pointing out the negatives in this series. I am going to give it the 3-episode run, and depending on how next week looks, I don't know. It's April, not technically April Fool's anymore, but this episode did come out April 1st, so maybe this was like a spoof episode and we get to the real next week. I don't know. I mean, everything just feels so off. Even the opening, you know, the opening last season was phenomenal, and it had the right type of visuals and everything. This opening, it tries to keep that same type of feel as the first opening had, but just throw in a whole bunch of charge-up scenes like you're watching the original US Dragon Ball Z opening, like you're watching Rock the Dragon, and add Terra Formars characters, and that's what you get with this opening. Horrible. Horrible. You know what? I'm done. I'm going to stop. I'm probably going to get some hate on this one. I don't know. Well, maybe not, because it seems to be pretty anomalous around YouTube that everybody hates this series right now. So, yeah. I think Terra Formars is going to get replaced, and I'm going to pick up something else instead. We'll see how it goes. I'll give it another try next week, and I'll bring a review for it next week as well. But that's all I have for you guys today. If you liked anything I had to say in this video, please do drop it a like. And if you want to hear more, go ahead and subscribe, as I will constantly keep that content coming for you guys. And as always, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me, and I really appreciate that. So that's all I have for the Scout Report. It's your boy Infrared. And before I let you go, don't forget tomorrow is that Boku no Hero hype. I can't wait for it. I cannot wait. I'll have that for you tomorrow. See you soon.